What's up, Irish fans? Anthony Romo back here with our first edition, I believe, here from the Golden Dawn of Ursuline Girls Soccer Coaches Corner. Glad to be joined with two of the coaches for the Ursuline Irish Girls Soccer team, Coach Roy, Coach Ahmed. Thank you for joining me today, guys.
Thanks for
Absolutely.
having us.
So I'll start with you, Coach Roy. 9-4-1 start to the season.
Yep.
I'm sure something that you have to be pleased with. And I also heard that you guys got bumped up a division this year from Division 3 to Division 2.
Right.
So moving up a division, of course, the playoffs aren't here yet. But what types of struggles do you face playing in a upper division?
Actually, I don't necessarily see it as a struggle.
You know,
I see it as an opportunity for the girls to actually perform at a
of
level that they're
course,
truly capable of. We have a solid team. We have a good crew. Um, D2 is harder, of
of
course,
course.
and so you're no longer playing the teams that only have 87 girls in the
Uh huh.
school and things like that. But when you get to D2, there's a much bigger pool for them to be able to draw from. But we prove that we're capable. As far as making a long run, when you think of some of the established teams throughout the state, that would be very difficult. Not saying it's not feasible. It's just we're working. We're getting there, and we
Of
have
course.
one heck of a solid crew this year.
So, Coach Ahmed, I talked to the girls about this, how they felt about it. As a coaching staff, playing your home games has to be special. Playing your guys' home games at a college soccer field like Youngstown State University. I know all the girls say it feels way bigger to play on. That has to be kind of an advantage for you guys because you're so used to playing on what seems like such a bigger field. It kind of has to help you guys out as an advantage when you welcome teams in.
Yeah, absolutely. Playing on the bigger field, being used to it for years and years. When teams come in, especially with like the smaller division teams and teams with the smaller field, they're not used to the width. So when they play, they kind of tend to tuck in into the middle,
Mhm.
where we tend to play a little bit wider, and we utilize the width more when it comes to our attacking plays. When we defend, we tend to come in to the middle. That way, when we defend, it's like closing them their entire team. But when we attack and we use that width, it's really hard for them to kind of push somebody out to
Mhm.
defend our players and then have to defend with like half the squad. So it's definitely a big advantage. It's awesome for the kids to get used to the width of the field, the size of the field. For those who are planning on playing collegiate soccer. When they go to showcases and all that kind of stuff. So
They're already
it's
prepared.
exactly. So they know the kind of the dimensions, the fitness level that they're required to have in order to play at college level. So yeah.
So I'll ask both of you guys this. I'll start with you first, Coach Roy. Of course, great seeing here tonight at the Golden Dawn. We have all the seniors, well, the seniors here tonight, getting recognized. What makes the senior class special to you?
It's a very unique thing to discuss. I've been doing this at Ursula now for 12 years, and your seniors are a special group of people.
Hmm.
You've got to figure you get them as freshmen. I mean, some of them, sure, they don't play all 4 years, but when you get them as freshmen and then as sophomores and juniors, and you
Hmm.
watch their growth, and when they become seniors and they become your true leaders, they help you as a coach that other than your training days, sometimes when you go to a game, I mean, granted, we still coach, don't take that
Hmm.
wrong, but it's like being their chaperone
Of course.
and
Yeah.
just letting them express themselves on the field. And our seniors are our leaders. They may not always be all the captains or all of this, but what they are is the bread and butter of the group. They are that glue that holds everybody together. And part of that is because it's their last run.
Hmm.
Because you figure the average school, you got what, one or two kids that are going to play in college
Yeah.
if you graduate 10, and for a coach like me, I mean, raise kids, I have 8 granddaughters, things like that. They become kind of like family.
Hmm.
And when they go away, they kind of tears a piece of you away. But the nice part is that coaching at high school level, you got another group coming in,
Of course.
and so there's that constant development. But my seniors love them all.
And then I would say that a unique part of being able to coach is is like you said, you get to watch their growth from freshmen to seniors, and not only you're coaching on the field, but you're kind of like a life leader off the field as well. Because once you get to high school, I mean, you experience so many new things throughout the course of your 4 years in high school. So that also has to be a special part, if I'm right, that you get to kind of be their leader. Like you said, it's like a family atmosphere. You get to lead them not only on the field but off as well.
Well, Ursuline, we have, and it's not just there, of course. I've coached at other schools, but we have a scarf that says "We are family" on
Uh
it,
huh.
and that's part of our nature.
It embodies.
Um, we are we're a true tight knit group, and that doesn't mean everybody loves each other all the
Yeah.
time. Okay, uh, sometimes we're looked at as the evil ones, but at the same token, they also understand and respect what we do, and that is very helpful in being able to help in the education process, albeit whatever it may be, whether it be soccer or, hey, coach, I don't know what to do. What do you think about me looking at this school? Coach, I have some ideas about this. Um, Coach Ahmed and Coach Alyssa have been very, very much pushing things like the nutrition side, the balance as far as what you do to, gain body mass or to be able to prepare yourself going forward. A lot of these things are very necessary, so we have an opportunity to share that with them, and it's really been a good growth experience.
Of course, and Coach Ahmed, I asked Coach Roy this to you. What does the senior class? What makes them so special to you?
Well, a lot of things. So, I'm fairly new to this team, but they've adopted me, and as he was telling you, it's a family. It's a big family. So, whenever I talk about them, they're always my kids. It's never my players. It's always my kids. So just the fact that I get to see them develop from day one, from good conditionings to all the way to like their playoffs or their last game of the season. We go through a lot of sweat, tears, everything together. So it's so special to see how much these people care for their team. They've played for this team for 4 years. They want everybody else to be as good as they are, if not even better. With our senior class, I think there hasn't been a better one that I've been a part of.
Hmm.
They're there to have fun. They're there to enjoy the game. To make everybody else enjoy the game. When it comes to tough games, and it's the nature of the sport. When you have tough games, they're the leaders that will lead the team across the finish line. We'll have games where people, some players will like, break down mid game because of frustration or whatever, and that's something that we try to do, but they do it better because they know how their teammates feel. So they help pull their teammates up. They help push and lead their teammates on and off the field. And he was talking about education wise. We've had a lot of players who have came up to us like, hey coach, I was looking at this campus at this college. They want me to go and visit them. When we talk to them about it, honestly, uh, whatever they want to do in life, we're 100% behind them. um, and if they're not sure about it, we try to help them. And that's something that obviously their parents are more equipped than we are. But
Yeah.
we spend like over 40 hours a week with these girls, so we kind of know their interests, their hobbies, all that kind of stuff.
A lot of times, it's almost like confirmation of what the parents
Yeah.
want them to
Exactly.
do.
Uh huh.
They come to us and go, "Well, what do you think?"
Of course.
Exactly.
And so we back it as not necessarily generically, but
Mhm.
kind of like that. Sorry.
No, no, no. You're so the senior class is just constantly improving, constantly making us say like, "Wow, this is amazing."
True.
The fact that you've done this on the field and off the field, it's just incredible.
So I found this interesting that you had said that you and Coach Alyssa kind of help with the nutritional
Mhm.
aspect of things. So to you, what is the most crucial thing that a player does directly after a game? Or is this
Well,
more complex question than I thought?
it's very complex.
It's okay. Don't cry.
Yeah. It's very complex because as I'm sure you've had as an athlete yourself,
Hmm.
when you were a little kid in high school, you thought mom and dad were like, okay, mom and dad, I know what I'm doing, but then you grow up and realize I should have listened to mom
Yeah,
and dad.
of course.
Same thing with us, our girls, when we tell them like, hey, make sure to hydrate, they think, okay, I'm gonna chug 3 bottles of water right before the game and I'm hydrated. And I was like, no, you have, it has to be like 48 to 24 hours before the game. That's how well hydrated you are. Their nutrition is very, 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 I cannot emphasize it, it's very important. Um, because without the correct nutrition, players will cramp, players will lose body mass, they'll lose fat the wrong way. Just because as a soccer player, it's not like any other sport where like there's like a 30 seconds or a minute of gameplay and then you stop. Not, and nothing against other sports, but in soccer it's just 40 minutes. In high school, 40 minutes of constant running up and back the field. If you tally up the miles that they run, they probably run like in
four
high
to
school, like,
six in 80 minutes.
yeah, 46 miles. So like they have to replenish their bodies,
course.
their muscles, their just to keep it up. So we make sure they're properly fed. A lot of them will ask us like, hey, what's like a game day meal for you? So I would tell them, like, make sure you have enough protein, enough carbs, enough fat. Even though if you go to like any athletes, you see that they have 1% body fat. That's, for some people, that's not good.
Hmm.
You need that fat, because fat is essentially the source of energy
It's what
for
you burn
players.
off.
Exactly, you burn off fat first, then you go into the carbs, then you go into the proteins and all that kind of stuff. So
Interesting.
it's very, very important for them. So we try to make sure they're well hydrated, well fed before the games, and a part of that, is the parents that bring us the meals after the
Definitely.
games and stuff like that. So they make sure we're fed after the games, proper food, not junk food. But it is very important for us, for sure.
They also have proper snacking there during the game. So
Hmm.
if kids off the field and they need like a
A quick boost.
a quick couple of hits off of a couple of grapes,
Exactly, like
or
grapes,
maybe apple,
watermelon.
oranges, things like
Yeah.
that. A little bit of watermelon chips. This way, they're not like eating on the sideline,
Yeah.
but at the same token, they're getting some kind of nutrition to replace all that sweat and energy that they've just thrown away. And we avoid the sugar side of things because that lasts what, 90 seconds and it's
Yeah.
gone. So it doesn't work that way. But no, we're blessed.
So that's actually a great
They
answer.
actually take advantage of what we teach.
So I completely just learned something. So I thank you guys on that aspect. So now looking forward to the upcoming matchup against Howland
That's tomorrow night.
tomorrow night. Home or away?
Home.
Home. So just down there
Yeah.
at Youngstown State.
No,
Irish
no.
fans, come out, support this team.
I got to say, our last game is the next Wednesday. It's the Holy
The
War.
Holy War.
And it's at YSU. Both of us, that's our home field.
Hmm.
So it's
And
huge.
they use the other side for their home bench. So we're going to be at both of our own home benches playing them. That's going to be a game.
And you've been here a while. So when we talk about the Holy War, just how special is that atmosphere? You've been here
It's
a
the
while.
only game of the year.
That's fair. It's the only one that matters.
It's like Ohio State and Michigan for
Yeah,
us.
kinda.
It's like
Okay.
Ohio State and
It
Michigan.
is.
It's like the Browns and the Steelers.
Yeah.
It's the game of a lifetime. It's what everybody's looking forward to. Parents, coaches, players. Everybody's like,
sides.
I have to make sure I'm healthy for this game. If I'm not healthy, I like they will tell me, like, they'll take off their casts if they have to go. Like, they cannot miss that game.
Yeah, they can't.
Okay.
So
It's awesome.
it's a very important game, and like the girls definitely feed off of the fans. So I mean, if people come and watch them, they will have a fun time at that game for
Yeah,
sure.
that's always a good game. Win, lose, or draw. That's the game.
Absolutely.
Okay. So now just 2 weeks remaining in regular season play.
Yeah, we're
correct? Or-
done next Wednesday.
So I'll ask both of you guys this. I'll start with you, Coach Roy. What are some things that you think your team still has to touch up on heading into hopefully a long playoff push?
Well, one of the things that we've been working on is a little better communication where they're all doing things at the same time instead of, oh, she's doing that. Let me watch what she's doing.
Yeah.
It's more of a concerted general effort from everybody. We have the talent, we have the pace, we have the right people that can play in the right places. One of the things that happens, though, is that coordination of all those things working at the same time. It's no different than running a good play on a football field.
Mm-hmm.
If everybody doesn't do their job, it doesn't work. But when we do it in the game of soccer, there's this everybody literally has to be doing something, and it changes
Mm-hmm.
constantly.
Yeah.
And one of the problems of that is, can you adapt to that change that just took place on the field and recover or move forward? And that is soccer. It really is. It's that ability to understand that, wait a minute, it's over here now. I've got to do this. Uh-oh, we just lost the ball. We've got to back up.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, we just won it back. Now I got to go.
Yeah.
So there's that never-ending momentum that they have to have when they're doing things.
Okay, and then Coach Ahmed, my final question for you, to kind of same question I asked him, just from your standpoint, what do you think are some other things that you guys really need to not necessarily fix, but kind of key up on and make sure you're doing well heading into playoff play?
Yeah, absolutely. So, we've had like 4 or 5 hour phone calls before about what needs to be fixed, what needs to be tuned up, all that kind of stuff. But from my point of view, and my point of view is gonna be different than Coach Roy's. But at the end of the day, it's the same message, it's the same goal. But like he was talking about, we have the right personnel in the field, we have the right attitude, so to speak. Uh, just need we like it has to be paced up a little bit more, and can't let down. Once we put, as the saying say, once you put your foot on the tiger's neck, you can't let it go.
Of course.
So that's something that we have to do going forward. Pace it up a little bit, clean up our finishing a little bit. We've had the opportunities, but not necessarily the finishing. Um, we've had the breakaways, we've had the attacking mindset, but we're not 100% at the final third.
Mhm.
And at the end of the day, it takes 11 people,
Of
11
course.
players to attack. It takes 11 players to defend. And if one of those 11 players didn't do their job, everything falls apart. Our entire play falls apart, our entire mindset falls apart, everything falls apart. So we have to make sure that all 11 players are on board.
Of course. Well, thank you guys for joining us. This
Oh,
was our
absolutely.
Ursuline Girls Soccer Coaches Corner here from the Golden Dawn in Youngstown. Thank you to the Golden Dawn for sponsoring all of our Ursuline interviews with the Ursuline Athletics. Coaches, thank you for joining me, and good luck
Thank you.
tomorrow night.
Thank
You
you.
got it.
Appreciate it.